Hey everyone, welcome. Are you ready to dive into a really fun adventure story? Today, we're kicking off the first half of a great book. It's all about a totally normal mouse who, well, gets pulled into a pretty extraordinary situation.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll meet our hero, Geronimo. Then we'll see how a secret map changes everything. After that, he puts together a, let's say, interesting crew. Things get a little crazy on the water, and it all ends with a huge storm.
All right, first things first. Let's meet our main character. His name is Geronimo Stilton. He's a mouse who lives in a really busy place called New Mouse City. And you know what? He loves his normal, quiet life. But, as you can probably guess, that's all about to change, big time.
So what's this Geronimo Stilton all about? Well, one thing you need to know right away is that he is not your usual hero. Nope, actually, he's the total opposite. He loves things to be quiet, calm, and predictable. Adventure? No thank you.
He runs a huge newspaper called the Rodents Gazette, and let me tell you, it's a super stressful job. He's not a morning person at all. He really hates Mondays. And all he wants in the whole world is just a nice, quiet day. A treasure hunt? That sounds like his worst nightmare.
And you can tell a lot about him just by the funny things he says. Like this one, putrid cheese puffs. It's kind of silly, right? But it tells you everything. His world is all about two things. His job, like being late for work, and of course, cheese.
Okay, so Geronimo is happy with his quiet, cheesy life. But that's about to get flipped completely upside down. And who's going to do it? Well, it's his sister, Thea.
And here she is, Thea Stilton. She's the total opposite of her brother. Her job is to travel the world looking for adventure. So yeah, think about it. He's careful, she's brave. He runs away from danger, and she runs right towards it.
This really shows you just how different they are, right? He's cautious, she's bold. He likes quiet, she loves danger. He likes plain food, she loves spicy food. And this difference between them, that's what really gets this whole adventure started.
So one day, Thea bursts in with something amazing. She's found a secret map, a really old, mysterious-looking map, and she says it leads to a famous treasure called the Emerald Eye. And guess what? She wants Geronimo to come with her on the hunt.
Well, Geronimo is not so sure about this. But after a lot of talking, he finally agrees to go. So, they get a ship, the Lucky Lady. But a ship needs a crew, right? And this is where the story gets even funnier.
Thea says she knows the perfect sailor for the job, their cousin, Trap Stilton. She tells Geronimo that Trap is an expert, that he's the best sailor around.
But here's the thing. Geronimo is a little worried. He knows Trap, and Trap is, well, he's a joker. He loves playing pranks, he's super loud, and he really loves treasure. He says he's an expert sailor, but Geronimo isn't so sure. This is our first hint that this trip might get a little bumpy.
Before they leave, Geronimo has to say goodbye to one very important mouse, his favorite nephew, Benjamin. And when Benjamin hears about a treasure hunt, oh boy, he really wants to go. He begs and begs to come along, but Geronimo says no. He thinks it's just too dangerous.
All right, so the crew is ready. We've got Geronimo, Thea, and their expert sailor, Trap. They're finally on their way to Treasure Island. But, as you can probably guess, things don't go smoothly at all.
Right away, there are problems, and most of them are because of Trap. On the very first day, he accidentally pours water into the fuel tank. Then, for dinner, he serves clams that are not so fresh. Poor Geronimo gets super sick. And then, after a couple of weeks, they realize someone else is on the ship, eating their food. And who is the stowaway? It's Benjamin. It's his little nephew. He snuck onto the ship because he didn't want to miss the adventure. Now you'd think Geronimo would be mad, right? But he's not. He's just so happy to see Benjamin, he gives him a huge hug and welcomes him to the crew.
So now the whole team is together, and they're getting closer and closer to the island. Everything seems to be going okay for once, until disaster hits, right in the middle of the ocean.
Suddenly, a huge storm appears out of nowhere, a hurricane. The waves are as high as mountains crashing down on their little ship. The wind is howling, and their boat is getting thrown around like a little toy. This is really serious.
They're in big trouble, and Geronimo thinks there's only one mouse who can save them. Trap. He's the expert sailor, right? So Geronimo runs to find him. thinking Trap will know exactly what to do.
But when he finds Trap, something is very wrong. Trap isn't steering the ship. He's hiding under his blankets, and he looks terrified. Geronimo is so confused. He asks, "Hey, I thought you were a captain." And that's when the big secret comes out.
And here it is, the big secret. Trap lied. He was never a captain. He was the ship's cook. He doesn't know anything about sailing. He's just as scared as they are. Oh no, their expert sailor was a fake all along.
So this is where we have to stop for today. Their ship is sinking, the storm is huge, and the one mouse who was supposed to save them, well, he can't. They are all alone. And that leaves us with a very big and very scary question. Will they survive?